93 here, back with more Shining Force. So this is stream number 10. So a couple things happened in between. In between streams. So at the very top here, you probably can't see it, but it's kind of like. Hang on, I always get my camera just wrong. Up here, the very top of the emulator is now a root link that is to the link to my root page, which is a lot like Discord. That just lets you guys keep me lets you keep updated with what I'm doing when I'm doing streams, and I'm trying to let you guys know at least one day ahead of time when I'm doing my streams, and it will always be EST. I had to do mine kind of early this morning because we have stuff we got to do later. But another thing is that a few episodes ago we acquired streams ago we acquired someone called Ernest. Now I mentioned that I skipped a cutscene with him, and I figured out what happened. So if you approach from a certain angle, the cutscene skips. But essentially, what happens if you approach him the right way, he'll come from the south side of the map. Or you'll approach from the south side of the map, you'll go into the thing, he will be fighting a dog. The dog will hit him, he'll say, "Eat, steal, you mutt," he will kill him. And then he'll go up to it, and he, you talk to him, he's like, "Oh, I'll join the Shining Force," and he, basically runs through a passage. When I say run through, I mean he, like, barrels through it and opens it up. And normally we're supposed to see all that, but because I came from the wrong side, all that actually happened without me being on screen, and that's why it looks so weird. So, I have confirmed that some characters do get a little bit stronger at the hit level 20, like between 10 and 20 before you promote them. But we have everyone in our party level 4, so we can just proceed with the battle unlike we did last time. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to increase the speed to 4, so we don't have to go through text a little bit quicker. So we have to deal with the enemies that are here. I'm going to turn up the volume for the music just a little bit, because I don't think this is as loud as the other music normally is. So we're basically surrounded by all sides. We have flying enemies we have to deal with, we have contracts we have to deal with, and a couple of other obnoxious enemies because some of them cause poison, or worse. So, I mentioned this, I think, in the last stream, but I kind of wish I used my Switch for this, because they have a rewind function, which sounds kind of cheap, but I never really used it for actual battle. I used it for grinding, and sometimes if you get, like, a really bad stat buff, like, for example, it just says a character increased to whatever level, it would just, you wouldn't get any buffs clearly. So what I would do is I'd rewind it to just before the attack happened. I would go to, like, one side and just wait, and then wait for my next action in order to, I missed that shot, in order to, possibly get a better stat boost. Normally, it works pretty well, but I can't do that in this, so my characters could be a bit better than they are now. Wow, I cannot hit that C-bet worth shit, because we just tried twice. And C-bets have a real crazy agility, too. So we'll have to check that out as well. How high agility do these things have? 14. That doesn't sound like... Yeah, I should be hitting those some bitches. Alright, whatever. So we're going over here, and we're going to just slap the C-bet with his attack, which is going to do, like, maybe 10 damage if it hits. Yeah, 10. Don't ask me how I was able to predict that. I did not know. I forgot, to be honest with you. I forgot the whole... Oh, by the way, Arthur in my other playthrough, because I'm about the same spot I am now, Arthur stats are a lot better, because I didn't promote him early enough. And like I said, Arthur would probably be better in the situation if he wasn't so... if I didn't promote him early. So, for the sake of it, because I already had Arthur in my other, I might get rid of him when I get another character that I want to use. Just because I know that I made a mistake when I promoted him, because now I'm looking at him through my other playthrough, and he is, well, I'll give you a kind of an example here. Arthur is, in my other game, is now level 12. He has 19 HP, 3 MP, his defense is higher, and his attack is about the same, even with the power ring equipped. Oh, and in the other playthrough, I actually have a flyer still, and he has the power ring equipped, and Arthur's still pretty strong in that game, even without the power ring equipped. So there is that. We're going to use Blaze. I have 8 MP. It takes 8 MP to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use Blaze level 1. That should be enough to put it down, but it might have some magic resistance. Okay, cool. 32 experience, 230 coins. Also, I found out a few things that Max can't equip the steel sword until he is promoted. Gort and Luke cannot use the heat axe. Oh, that's pretty bad. Okay. That's why I get putting her right there. Right to heal her. Luckily Lowe's right nearby, and Gong's probably falling off the rear here at some point. There's Anri's freeze level 1 on this conch. Nine damage for 10 experience. There's some characters who can't use weapons at all. That actually makes that some characters like that don't have weapons are actually kind of better. If you happen to promote them late, because they don't have to worry about not being able to equip weapons. Because obviously they don't use one, so that means that logically means their attacks can be hot. Attacks that can be hot. That does not really want to get hit by any of my knights. So he'd avoided 3 attacks from my knights. Probably a 4th one at some point. Kane's probably gonna deal 9 damage to this thing, I think. 10. Alright. That's fine. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. This should be enough to put him down. I think the reason you can't equip a lot of characters is because I usually end up getting my characters to level 10 around the laser eye fight. And you get the steel sword, the heat axe, and a couple other items right immediately after that. So I think the developers intended you to promote that level 10, but some people decided to go higher than that. Damn, he just... Is it because he's over the... It must be because he's over the ledge. That's the only reason I can think of why they're just dodging everything. Maybe it's the land effect. Okay, the Seabats don't hit for a massive amount of damage, so I'm still fine. Here comes the other Seabats and the Pegasus Knights. He's probably going to go after... I'm surprised he can go after Thylo there. So if I still had the option, I would probably replace Arthur with Gunts, because Gunts does have low wood thing, but his defense is impeccable. And well, Gunts is level 8, Arthur's level 4 promoted, so I didn't think there would be any. I'm kind of like deadlocked on that, so we're not going to bother with that. Because now the level difference is too great. Wow, 19 damage. Pal is just ridiculous. 40 experience, 350 coins. Pow. If I manage to sink that one, so we got to deal with the other 2 now. Come on, give me the Low's turn, please. Anri's not doing too good on this. So Arthur should learn his net first spell at level 5. Arthur gained 40 experience, 270 coins, which I think is going to be during this battle. I would hope, at least. Okay, so we're going to use Tao's level 3 here on this Pegasus Knight and the Seabat. Hopefully they don't get another turn in before Low, but I can't guarantee that, so Tao might die here. But you get quite a bit of experience for just knocking these guys around. 39 experience. Okay. I was going to say something else, too. I lost track. Lost track of what I was going to say. But it's interesting because there's something that always got me, and I don't know if I could even pull this off. But there is a... How do I say this? There's a scenario at the end of the game where you have to use a certain item on the final boss. And normally, that item can only be used when Max is promoted. But it makes me generally curious, if you can get Max to level 20 and then hit the end of the game, would that cutscene actually change, or would the game just freeze? I have to imagine the game would go into self-control mode and it would just make Max promoted for that one scene. But I've never done that before. That's one thing that would be interesting to see. Now the shelf is going after Anri. Hang on a second. Didn't Anri get a huge... Yeah, she got a huge defense. I think she got a 7 defense buff at one point. I forgot she got that. How high is her defense compared to Tao? Wow, her defense as a whole 11 points stronger. Isn't that stronger than... It's almost on par with Pel's. That means Anri unintentionally became a tank. We're going to cast freeze level 1 on the shellfish if we remove away space. That's going to cause some damage. 8 points of damage. And gains 15 experience points. So So I was going to throw this bet. Hopefully you should be able to hit it. But considering how high C-Bet's evasion is, I'm not going to guarantee that. Oh, I actually did hit. Nice. 13 damage, 40 experience, 350 coins. So we're doing pretty well so far. Gort with that Heat X is kind of ridiculous. We read out there's actually something strong with the Heat X later on. 40 experience, 270 coins. Gort's level increased to 5. That's all increased by, 6. That's level increased by 8. Good lord, man. I tell you, when I promote my guys level 20, I want to see how high their stats rise. Because we're getting high increased stats here. Gong's up for 6. Okay, the Gong needs to be healed. Probably gonna heal himself. May might hit the C-Bet at some point this century. Wow, she cannot hit worse. I don't understand why she can't hit nothing. Alright. We're gonna have Diane attack this conch for 10 damage, or maybe 9. 10. 11 experience. Moving on. Oh, Gong might die here. Nope, 1 HP. Alright, we need to get Gong out of there. So, oh, that's what I was going to mention, is apparently some characters have a high, what would you call that? High threat level. And basically what that allows, what happens in that situation is that they'll always go after that one instead. So, apparently the ones at the highest threat level are the mages, the main character, which is Max, and apparently Gunts, because apparently they consider him a high threat. But the thing is, Gunts gets so much defense that you could ascend. Well, he doesn't get a lot of HP, but if you're using like a physical tank, he is ridiculously good at that. Apparently, I have not used him in several years, and I remember his animations for when he's promoted, but I don't remember anything beyond that. So I told you I was almost here with my other profile. I'm basically right at the battle with Bulbasac, so I'm like 2 battles off from this screen. There's experience 230 coins. Still not enough, though. Okay. What was healed Henri? I don't think we need to heal much of anyone else at the moment. Or, she healed Tao, my bad. Alright, we're gonna move. I don't think Henri can hit anyone from this angle unless I go right in their face. I'm not gonna try that. I'm just going to put Gort there so we can take the damage. Okay, so we go right about here, that's when the enemies are going to start popping up. Like crazy. May, can you hit something this round, please? Okay, May can't hit worse shit. I'm going to heal himself again, so we have the MP to do it. By the way, I'm able to speedrun this game, and I gotta watch like a full playthrough of that because I want to see like how much the luck factor is involved. So I have to imagine, like, first of all, they'd probably pour a lot of defense and HP items into Max just to use them as a scapegoat, because they'll go after him before they'll go after anyone else. So if you like have like Max behind, like in front of a mage, even though they both have a high threat level, they'll go after Max before the well after the mage, which is a pretty sound strategy. Pels level increased to 5, defense level increased by 3, speed increased by 2, maximum hit points increased by 1. Solid increase. That bat's finally gone. They're going to Gort, and considering Gort just got a 6-point increase, it's not going to do any damage to him whatsoever. By the way, at one point, I think during the last room we had an increase of 10 twice. So if anyone's watching this who's played Shining Force before, let me know if you guys had like a stat going to double digits before, because I'm not really sure how common that is. I'm not really I play Shining Force a lot, but I'm not really a part of the community per se. Alright, 10 damage, that Pegasus Knight, 8 experience. Gort, Armor's level increased to 5. That's all increased by 1. Speed increased by 1. Maximum hit points increased by 1. Warranty new. Okay, so it is. So he does learn that at level 5. Rev Tau cast per magic. So now Arthur finally has a spell that we can use, which is going to help us if we're trying to get a shot in, and Arthur's kind of like weak and whatever to deal with it. There's 1 down. That's going to get third experience with 108 coins. Tau level increased to 5. Her MP just jumped. Tech will increase by 1, which is useless. Defense will increase by 3. That's pretty good. Speed increased by 4. That's med hit points increased by 2. That's med points increased by 7. Wow. That's a good increase in the magic, especially when That's what especially when that's what they rely on. So I don't think Glow's going to hit this thing, but we're going to try. Oh, surprisingly. Managed to hit him. Alright. I don't think there's anything Max can do, so I'm just going to leave him there. Henry can't get anywhere near him, so we're just going to put him next to her next to Max. Bay's going to try to hit something this round. Okay, there we go. We finally hit something. Make it 24 experience points. I'm going to have Domingo go up there and try to help with that. I think when we get it right about here, that's when the other monsters are going to start showing up. But I'm not really 100% sure. I think we might have to kill all the other monsters first before that happens. But their May's going to take almost no damage from that. Yeah. By the way, I think I mentioned this before, it doesn't matter how high your defense is and how low the enemy's attack is, you'll always inflict 1 damage. So there'll be a time where it says the hitter took no damage unless their agility is so high that they missed the attack. Which we've definitely seen before. I'm going to get Gong in there now that Gong is done with all his healing. There's another 9 damage. Oh, he's going to hit twice. And they both actually connect, that's surprising. 40 experience, 350 coins. With Arthur over here. By the way, you guys have probably noticed this by now, considering this is the 10th stream, but I have a counter on the down left. That is just my FPS counter to make sure the game's running alright. In case something goes wrong with the emulator, it'll show up down there on what it runs on. But so far, it's been running consistently 58 to 60 FPS, so we're still good. So we just took out the Pegasus Knight. Oh, that's interesting. So, I managed to kill all the enemies before that. I might be thinking of a different battle, but that's actually kind of interesting. We didn't get what I thought we would get. There's enemies that appear, but then again we have another battle on the ship, so maybe I'm thinking of a different battle, but that battle was actually really easy. The ship was damaged in the battle. We must repair that island over there. Thank you for destroying this monster. My name is Shell of Worrell. You repair your ship in the Worrell. Please follow me. For the Worrell, you should be able to get our ship fixed there. So we're not here crazy long, but we need to make sure we get everything. Take some to repair your ship, try to rest and relax. I'm the Worrell. It was a great place, but nothing ever happens here. Welcome to Worrell Castle, the king is in. Okay, they say the same thing. Word of warning, don't go near the boys past the water. Danger works out there. Greens will be glad to repair a ship if you tell others of our lovely island. So this is kind of funny. There, you can see there's an item and weapon shop here, but there's no one there. But if we go up to the thing, there's no one that says a king can't run a shop. How can I help you? So we can come here and we can buy a couple of things. We can buy a couple of new things, actually. We can buy, I believe What's-Her-Face has the Elven Arrow already. But we already have one, so Elven Arrow. I want to make sure that she has that. Yes, she does. Okay. So, there's a couple things we can buy here. So we have the new weapon called the Steel Lance. Steel Lance is a one-tile weapon for knights, and it has more power than the Power Spear does, but it only lets you attack for 1. So I usually keep the Steel Lance and the Power Spear because you need to attack from 2 spaces away. So it's a good thing we have a bunch of gold because we need several Steel Lances in order for this to work. So we have Arthur, Pell, and May that can learn it. And by the way, because Ken and Vanker and some of the other ones are promoted, they can't actually get it. So we're going to buy 3 of these, and that's going to eat up a lot of our gold. But we get so much of it from power leveling that we really don't need it. Alright, so now we have a couple of things that we can get something called the Battle Axe. So I am not 100% sure if buying this is even a good idea, because I don't know if that... Yeah, I can't actually give it to Gort at the moment anyway. I don't think it matters if I buy it and it's ineffective, because maybe I can use it for something else. So we're going to sell one of Gort's items, because he does not need all that stuff. We're going to rid the Metal Axe. Buy. So we're going to buy a Battle Axe. This might be actually worse than the Heat Axe, but I'm going to check it anyway. I want to say it is, but we're going to check anyway. That's all we can really buy from here, but still pretty good items. So I think, yes, the Battle Axe actually is worse, but the Heat Axe can break. So the only thing we can get here is, you can see there's actually chests here, but unlike a lot of places, we actually go over there and get to them. So we're going to go to my inventory. We're going to get rid of the longsword. We don't need it. We're going to give it to someone who has quite a bit of stuff, or doesn't have anything that they can hold. That gives me 2 items to grab stuff with. So, mobility ring. This is actually really good. It increases when you use it. It can increase your mobility for a crazy amount, but if you equip it, it increases your mobility by 2 permanently, as long as you have it equipped. So, and I picked up an item called the Shower Cure. So what the Shower Cure does, it's a very rare item. Essentially, if you use it it'll basically heal your party for 15 to 16 damage, like the entire party. So it's a very, very useful item if you need to use it. I don't think I'm going to need to use it, but it's still very good. So I want to say that a lot of characters in this game have high mobility to begin with. So I kind of want to give it to somebody who needs the mobility. Mobility, by the way, means move. So you can see it maxed at 6. I think I'm actually going to wait on that for just a moment. I'm going to grab the rest of the stuff. I'm actually going to go to the base, and now let me check everyone's before I have to, deal with that. So we have another defense potion. I should once I know I got all my characters, that I got my team set, I'm going to start using those. But they're not really a necessity for this game. There's definitely a lot of stuff here. Also, let's just put into effect that we can get medical herbs from chests, which is kind of weird. But, that we're basically stealing shit. It's an RPG thing where people don't seem to care that we're taking stuff, but just still doesn't feel right. There's a Bread of Life, so there's a lot of good stuff in this, just in this spot alone. So we're going to give the Bread of Life to somebody else. Next, we're going to go to Gort. And we're going to get rid of one of his items because he doesn't need all that stuff by himself. Alright, we got all that under control. Now we're going to head back to the base real quick. And we're going to, assuming this lady gets out of my way, and we're going to basically check everyone's movement very easily by going to status. So Max has 6 move. May has 7. Hell has 7. Arthur has 7. So I guess all the knights have 7. Gort has 6. Anri has 5. Tao has 5. Domingo has 5. Lo has 5. Gong has 5. Diane has 5. Zylo has 7. By the way, I'm going to check your stat just to show you guys. He has 7 move, but every single other stat he has is 1. So that's interesting. So my first thought is to give it to a mage or possibly Diane to deal, to be able to move more efficiently. However, I think I'm actually going to give it to Gong. So he has, since he can fight and heal better than Lo can, I think giving it to him would give us a bit of advantage. Because that means he could fight and heal, essentially go around a bit faster. Plus he has no weapon to begin with. So we're going to equip the mobility ring. You see his move goes from 5 to 7. That's fantastic. So we're going to move on. Let's go around to this. Alright, so now we need to find something to do, obviously, but while our ship is being repaired. We're just going to look around a bit. So you can see we have a boat there. Lots is here. Take a bit. Those boat. You're tired of walking. See, they got fish here. Oh, Max. Remember, I'm Boken. The water's great as long as you don't get eaten. You know, there's an enormous building under the island. It's amazing. So we encounter Boken several times, and I'm looking at how his stats are and what he looks like. I'm gonna guess he was a character that they decided to scrap, that you could actually play as. All you eat is fish. His pairs is missing. We can't find him anywhere. So there's not really much else I think we can really explore. I think I already talked to that guy. So, no, there's more we can explore. So we can get on the boat. We can essentially move on the water. We can talk to the mermaids here. Shell says, don't go bang the boys. The currents are dangerous. Here's a Freyr here. We have nothing to really talk to him about, so we're going to get back on the boat. Shimon Shells at. I've seen the strange light at the river leaf slightly spooky. So we can talk to everyone here. I feel like I'm in heaven. This surely is paradise. Heard a prompt. No. It said the descendants of ancients live there. So we can do one more thing here. We can talk to the guy that is behind this thing. I don't know if I ever talked to him before, to be honest with you, but I don't think he says anything that important. See, the whole sea is pouring into Regan Reef will become of us. Okay. So I think there's nothing else we can really talk. Anyone else we could talk to? Up there are some other places here. I don't think I've ever been over this way. Well, Gus, would you like to hear a secret? Yes. I think our missing prayers in the Ring Reef. Don't call it a hunch. Don't tell anyone. There is one more guy here. Here, there's a land called Dragana to the east. Sacred dragons live there. So there's nothing else we can really do here, and it took me forever to figure this out. But if we talk to this lady here, she'll tell us that... Wait. Yes. So basically you say yes, and there's no other way to proceed, so you go through here, and you'll immediately get pulled into the current, and you'll crash. You'll wake up with a chest that is... which is open for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But here's the missing Freyr. So let's see you're safe. You've thrown from the rift. I rescued you. Strange doings. The water in this ring vanished, and a strange creature appeared. It might have something to do with the legend of the shining path that leads to Mepha. The legend says Mepha is the land of the ancients. So now that we're here, we can do one thing here. You can see that there is a big something here. I don't exactly know what it's called. But it's connected to the shining path, which we're actually looking for. So we go through this thing and basically the teleporter. So we fall down here. Or see there's a skeleton here. Now, you can go to a bunch of different spots here, but essentially, you want to follow the skeleton. What are you doing? I must inform the master. So there's nothing else you can really go in this spot. I think there's just a way out. I could be wrong. It's just an empty thing. I don't know why they put that there. Maybe they intended for us to use that to get out of here. But essentially, we're going to follow the skeleton to this path, and we're going to enter a battle this way. I put the path before me. What? Shining Horse. I was so close. I shall destroy you all. So, we're back with the skeletons again. We have a new enemy called the Worm. So the Worm is no level. It has 17 HP, no MP, no experience, no magic, no item, 20 attack, 16 defense, 4 movement, 16 agility. So like the Cerberus, when this thing attacks, it can either use its regular attack or it can use a freeze level 2 kind of esque attack. And that'll deal damage to whoever it's attacking instead. So, you can see we have some sea bats here. Nothing really crazy here, but now we have skeleton again. And this one has a shield ring. So, and a longsword, which is different than what I had before. So those who don't remember, the shield ring is an item that gives you a plus 3 or 5 defense. But you actually can't get one to put on your character in this game, which I guess was an oversight. I'm not really sure if that's exactly what it was. But now we have to go and stop that mage from doing whatever he's doing. So we don't want to go too far here because we want to make sure they're coming to us and not us to them. But some monsters will protect the Master Mage at all costs, so we have to be careful about that. I'm trying to get everyone leveled up before I move on, so there is that. So you're going to see we're doing much less damage to skeletons now, but they're still not that strong. Because of the ring. I think we're fine regardless. I don't think anything around here is really threatening. bats could be a little bit of a problem because they can come from any direction. But they can surround you this way, and probably the worms are stupid because they're not actually coming after us. They're just kind of going anywhere. Move Gong up here. Here come the Hellhounds, but they're not actually coming after us. They're just kind of on standby, it seems. The AI is kind of prone to being where they're supposed to be, so sometimes they just avoid attacking at all, which makes it easy to level up sometimes, but it's also kind of annoying, because that means you can't just push past them like normal. So we're going to have low attack the Hellhound for like 5 damage. 6. Just for the experience. We don't need to heal anybody at the moment, so I didn't see a point of trying to do anything about that. We're going to have max attack the Hellhound, which should be enough to put it down. Yeah. 40 experience, 200 coins. Domingo, I think still... Domingo, it does have 3 level 3, so we're actually going to move Domingo right here. I'm not worried about the... Domingo has quite a bit of defense. I'm not worried about him getting hurt. So we're going to cast Freeze level 2. This is going to hit all 3 of them at once. I'm not going to kill any of them, but it's going to damage a lot of them. 40 experience for Domingo. We can also get Henry right here and have her cast Freeze level 2 as well, so this should kill most of them. I think it's going to leave the one skeleton alive, but I think it's going to kill the worm and the other skeleton. Yeah, skeleton still has a bit of HP left. Henry gains 40 experience, 720 coins. May would have probably been level 5 by the last battle, but she kept missing those hits. That's right. I do have my new lance too. I probably should start using that when I feel like I need to. I think we're just level up from this battle. I'm going to move on from this spot. I don't think I'm going to take the time to sit here and level all my characters to 5. I think I'm going to do that next time. What I mean is I'm not going to keep retreating the battle and get my characters to 5. I'm just going to push through it, but I'm still going to try to get my characters to 5. Here come the sea bats. Gongan now has much more movement speed, much more move. Doesn't seem very like much, but having 2 extra move in every direction is actually really good. Okay, so the Hound does not like Arthur, so it's going to come after him. If it does the fire attack, he's dead. Yeah, Arthur's dead. Nope, Arthur took 12. I'm surprised. Those bats decided to come for him, though. We're going to have a problem. So Arthur now has the new lance you can use. We're going to equip it. You're going to see it does 3 more damage, which isn't a lot. But for Arthur, it's pretty good. You're also going to see how they kind of leap at the enemy, the paladins do, which is interesting. You haven't really seen that until now because I haven't used a melee weapon on them in a while. So, move May up here. Lo's going to hang back and he's going to heal Arthur because Arthur barely has any HP to begin with. He's going to low 10 experience at least. 19 in this situation. And max run back here and we're going to hit this Hellhound, which should kill it. Assuming the attack connects, and it does. 16 damage, 30 experience, 200 points. Max level increased to 5. Speed increased by 2. Maximum hit points increased by 6. That's pretty good. Max definitely needs the agility in order to avoid certain attacks. We'll move Domingo here. We're going to cast Freeze level 2 on these bats, which do 9 to 10 damage on each one. Domingo gained 42 experience points. Domingo's level increased to 5. Attack level increased by 1. Defense level increased by 4. Speed increased by 2. Maximum magic points increased by 1. Defense increase is really nice. As I will move over here, we're actually going to attack this bat. Hopefully that's going to be enough to put it down. But with my left, the attack's not going to connect. Nope, it actually did, but didn't do enough damage. 24 experience for Zywell. I can't really get close enough to hit him with Anri, so we're going to have to substitute for May. We're actually going to go after the skeleton a little bit here. I forgot I had the new weapon. I have to remember to stop doing that. I guess I'm so used to using the lance that May's level increased to 5. Defense level increased by 5. Maximum defense increased by 7. Wow, it really jumped that high? I didn't even notice. Alright. I think I can get close enough to hit that bat from this side. I can. So as long as he connects, this will take out that sea bat. And of course it misses. Sniper my ass. Alright. So here come the Hellhounds. That one's going after Gong. So am I going to get his regular attack, or am I going to get the fire again? So you see the regular attack is pretty insufficient, but the fire one can deal more damage. Plus it deals magic damage, so it ignores defense. So even with units with high defense, it could cause some problems. So actually going to go after Domingo, because Domingo is technically a mage. It's going to do no damage. Well, 1 damage. Report here. We're going to attack this Hellhound, which should do 9 damage, I would think. 10. Going to 16 experience. Gong's level increased to 5. Defense level increased by 3. Speed increased by 2. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good for a healer, anyway. I'm kind of mad there isn't more monks in this game, because monks are really good at what they do. They get the right stat increase, that is. So they're going out there. They see Domingo as a pretty big threat. Alright, we're going to move Pell up here. I'm going to make sure to equip their new weapons before I forget to do so. Seabat's going to deal 2 damage to Zywell. I guess Zywell didn't have much defense as I thought he did. Probably this is my phone going off, because normally I'm supposed to have work today, but because it's Good Friday, I didn't have it. This one's going after Low. He's probably going to deal 10 damage? 11. I was expecting a double attack. Now this one's going after Zywell. This is going to do maybe 5. 7, okay. That wasn't as much defense as I thought he did. He must be more of a speed user. At least in this instance he is. Move Max up here. Low's going to go over to the side. He's going to use heal level 1 on himself. Someone told me, by the way, that Chris can cast a spell called Aura when she's high enough level. And basically what that does, it heals your party, but it heals it like in a... If the level's high enough, it'll heal like in a cross. But if it's high enough to actually heal like the entire party, which apparently costs a massive amount of MP, but it's worth it. At least that's what I keep hearing. So we're going to cast Blaze level 2, since Blaze takes a little less MP. That's going to kill the one, damage the other one. 9 damage. Henry gains 40 experience points, 350 coins, energy level increased to 5. Attack increased by 2, that's meh. Speed increased by 2. Maximum hit points increased by 3. Maximum hit points increased by 4. Okay, that's good. We don't really need attack on a mage, so... I'm just going to show you Domingo's attack, which basically just kind of dives on the enemy, and even missed, so... Since we don't get to see Domingo use anything, usually just use his regular attack, I figured I'd just show you guys that. High-end should be able to take the Seabat out now if it hits this time. Okay, good. 12 points damage to Seabat. Dang, it's 40 experience, 350 coins. Pow. And now he's going after Max. Which attack he's going to use? Okay, regular attack, 1 damage. By the way, when an enemy attacks like that, and they have 2 attacks that are different from each other, like regular attacks, it is possible they use the one attack and then use a different attack, or possibly both attacks back to back. I've never seen both attacks, like those flame attacks back to back, but I've seen them attack and then use the flame attack, which can throw you off if you're expecting only one or the other. Attack level increased to 5. Attack level increased by 5. Wow. It even increased by 1. Maximum points increased by 5. A 5 damage increase, that's really good. Right. I think almost everyone's hit level 5 by now. We're gonna hit Domingo for 1 damage. Here comes the sea base going after Max. I think Low and Diane, the only ones that haven't hit level 5 yet. I'm gonna check that here in a minute when I get my next turn. But Griselda's gonna take 7 more damage. He didn't get any defenses that last encounter, so I'm gonna have to heal him. So yeah, everyone, let's check. I think even Henry, yeah, Henry and Tao both hit level 5. I think it's only Woe who's close. I think Diane's pretty close too. Yeah, they both are. Oops. I'm gonna have low heal Max, just to make sure that we don't end the battle, or the battle doesn't end early because of my stupidity. Plus, it gives a little bit of experience. I think he needs to heal one more time, or deal damage in order for him to get an extra experience to level up. Domingo's just taking these attacks, so I'm not worried about him or it. Alright. I can go after just about anything here. I probably should go after the bat, though. Actually, let's go after the skeleton. Skeleton, I think, could deal more damage to Diane if it decides to retaliate. Okay, there's 7 there. 22 experience points. Diane's level increased to 5. Attack level increased by 1. Defense level increased by 1. Speed increased by 2. Maximum was increased by 4. Okay. Now we just have to have Low essentially heal somebody and we're set. So we're just going to start wailing on enemies now. We don't need to worry about much of anything else. That was going to deal more damage now. He deals 12 to the skeleton. 30 experience, 320 coins. Seabat's gonna go. Oh, I'm surprised he actually went after what? I thought he'd go after Diane. 8 damage. How much is Low need now? Yeah, one more heal will get him enough experience to level up, I figured. So we're gonna equip well with his new lance. We're gonna attack the skeleton. He has 37 attacks, so this should. I would think this is gonna cause a one-shot again. 16, yeah, it would have. If he had full HP. 40 experience, 320 coins. Also, the skeletons are starting to get more experience now. I'm not really sure why that is. They must have considered something else. Maybe they're going to call it something else, but they just upgraded him. Or it's going to hit this Hellhound with the... Well, I said he was going to hit him with the axe, but he didn't actually do it. Or have Gong attack this Seabat. For 9 damage. 13 experience points. That's going after Gong now, because I guess it considers him a higher threat. Regular attack for 1 damage. Thought there was something in my drink there for a second. It was just a bubble. 1 damage. Remember, Arthur casts his first blaze spell. You're going to see a rare instance where you're going to see a knight actually use a spell. So he just basically pulls back and uses the spell. 7 damage for 10 experience. I just want to show you guys that one. I think he earns, if he earns at that, I think he earns Ice at 10 and then Bolt at 15. So we haven't used any MP on Tao yet, so we're just going to use Blaze level 3. Since she has so much of it. I mean, she can, after that, she can cast Blaze how many more times? Level 2, 8, 16, 20. Yeah, I can cast it 3 more times, which is going to be, should be much more than we need for this battle. Have him heal himself. I give him an experience to level up. Ten experience points. Tao's level increased. The low's level increased to 5. Attack level increased by 1. Mental increased by 2. Speed increased by 6. Maximum hit points increased by 3. Maximum magic points increased by 4. That's a good, solid spread right there for a healer, anyway. All right, we're gonna max attack the Seabat, which, if it connects, should be enough to put it down. Nice. Maximum 40 experience, 350 coins. Domingo doesn't have much MP left, so he can cast 2 more free spells. We're going to go use 1 on the Seabat here. And by the way, as far as I know, there is no way to increase your MP during battle, so you have to be careful if you're using too much magic in a battle. I had a feeling that someone along those lines would ask me if you can replenish MP the way you can replenish HP in battle, and I say no, you can't. I don't think there's any item that does it either, which is kind of crazy when you consider how many health items there are, but there's not any MP items that do that. We're going to make sure May has the new weapon equipped, yeah. I'm going to move everybody up, as far as we can anyway. Zylo needs to be healed, so I'm going to leave him back here. And ironically, Gong has his next move, so we're going to... Actually, we're going to move slightly farther away. We're going to use heal level 2, that way he can get closer to the enemy and heal Zylo at the same time. Gong has used an MP anyway, so and considering heal only costs 3 MP, it isn't that bad. Of course, level 2 costs 5, but that's beside the point. Here come the enemies now. So they're going to protect the mage, the Master Mage, while the Hellhound comes in after us. Now with the new lance, we could attack this Hellhound for probably 10 damage. Yep, 14. 17 experience for Arthur. Oh, the Hellhound's coming after us too, but it's not. Yeah, so they're going to keep formation up there. Tao's going to cast Blaze level 3. That's going to kill the one Hellhound and damage the other one. Deadly attack inflicts 18 points of damage. And then 9 to that one. Tao gets 40 experience and 200 coins. Max had almost reached that Hellhound now. Will's bringing up the rear. Master Mage. Gort's going to come around to the side and put this Hellhound down. Last time it didn't turn out too well, so... Alright, that time it did. 20 points of damage, so he could have one-shot that Hellhound if he wanted to. 25 experience, 200 coins. So now they're going to surround the Master Mage to try to protect him. May has her, yes, she has the lance equipped, so we're going to attack the skeleton now for probably like 9. 8. May's attack isn't impressive, so the other ones are, but she has quite a bit of defense. So we're going to move Arthur here. We're going to use Blaze level 2, level 1. And that's the last Blaze spell we can cast, but that should be enough to put it down. Yep. 46 experience, 320 coins. Move Tao up. Move everyone up a little bit. The Master Mage will not move from that spot, so the only thing that sucks about his location is we can't really, if we get too close to him, he'll basically be able to just cast Freeze on us. But from this position, I can use the Heat Axe to cast Blaze level 2 on the enemies, which will deal some damage. Working 40 experience. Or Gong come and beat up the worms. I don't know if this is going to do enough damage to kill it, but it might come close. Yeah, 8 damage. 15 experience for Gong. Zao will attack this worm, which should do enough damage to put it down, with Zao getting that attack buff not that long ago. Yep, 16. Damn, that would almost one-shot it. 47 experience, 400 coins. The reason I'm not attacking the Master Mage is because I want to get the experience from the worms, so worms attack does 3 damage. Like I said, normally I can cast another spell, but there's circumstances that might not allow that. So they should put down the Master Mage a little ahead of time, but that's fine. Yeah, just enough to kill it. 40 experience, so 850 coins. Alright, I was so close. The way to Memphis was almost ours. Max, I was waiting for you. I used that mermaid to bring you here. It's the voice of the spirit from the Pool of Ancients. Shining path leads by the door. It leads to the land of the ancients. The key to the accursed door is there. You should open up the path to the shining path. Way to shining path now. No, though it takes all my remaining strength, you shall not use the path. Voice of the spirit is heard again. Last, the path is blocked. Listen, 2 things are needed to break free Dark Dragon. Darksoul wants to get his hands on the key, as well as the manual of the seal. The manual is in Dragania. You must stop Darksoul. The seal must not be broken. Let a prompt. There we shall find another shining path. Max, the hoist collapsing. Run. I was right. The shining path was here. Too bad it's blocked now. What, another shining path and prompt. You must go there at once. Alright, now we can... I think we're set to leave. We can talk to this lady here. I think this is Cheryl herself. It's me, Shell. You've been waiting for Marie Fright. Did he tell you a secret? Yes. It's amazing you're both from Gardania. You're leaving now. Please visit after your quest is over. I'll show you around. So now we can leave. The current no longer drags us in because the path is now messed with. So now we can leave. And the king plays a little joke on us here. I thought he was serious for a second there. Can you imagine how long it would take for this? But I'll show you. Well, my ship is ready. You prepared to leave immediately? See, the payment for the 1 million coins we paid now? Yes. Well, you don't have enough money. You almost believed me, didn't you? I can't take money from you. I think on behalf of my people, take care and we'll be sure to return later. So here comes... We're going to get into a second ship battle here after a minute. Yep. Here we go again. We're about to land too. Go get them. So I don't think I have enough time to complete this battle. There's nothing really crazy here. Yeah, this is the battle I'm thinking of. So before I leave, I'm just going to explain one enemy here, and then I'm going to end the stream because I don't have enough time to beat the whole battle. But this is the new enemy called Gargoyle. No level, 18 MP, HP, AP, 20 MP, no experience. Magic Muddle. So Muddle is a lot like a blind spell in RPGs where if it connects, and Muddle does not have a very good chance. If it connects, it means that for a few turns, whoever gets hit by it will have a hard time hitting. Now, I don't believe this affects magic, but it affects physical attacks. Attack is 26, defense is 15, move is 6, and agility is a massive 20, which is higher than most enemies will ever have. Like, it's even higher than the bad is by 6. Alright, so I think that's all we can really do here. I'm going back to the Fryer here, which is going to be right here. And we're going to save. But anyway, that's going to do it for the stream. Thank everyone for watching. This is ThatStreamer1993 signing off. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.